I don't like them either, I'll be honest with you, if I could go to the county
At
and
least
stay.
they're serving a purpose.
They do, they do, that's, it's gonna come up at a later date, but they're not good for Central Texas. Why they ever put them here, I don't know, I don't like them. I live in High Point, I drive in, we got a 4-acre lake out there. You know, it's not, and I asked the same question, why are we keeping it full? The state requires us to, because it filters out water that goes downstream, so that's,
Because they're putting the fluoride into the right.
Well, it's just,
no fluent.
it's real hard to sort out who's
Not
supposed
enough.
to do what and what's allowed and what's really not allowed.
Right.
So if y'all could clarify that, I think people could follow it more accurately.
Roger.
Just a point on those beautification ponds, when the LCRA drought triggers kicked in during the last drought we had, then Belterra, and presumably High Point too, were then prohibited from using the LCRA water to top up the beautification ponds, and so they were allowed at that time to drop down. The flow in Bear Creek then, as a result, also stopped. So it's really the LCRA triggers
Right.
that control whether they're allowed to put, as long as they're allowed to put water into those ponds, they will. I'm not, that's all I know. When the LCRA tells them, hey, no more, they have to turn the spigot off and they start to drop.
That's LCRA.
Yeah.
No issue.
Yes, sir.
We're allotted 36 acre feet,
Who's that?
Cedar Oak Mesa Water Supply Company.
Uh-huh.
And right now, we're running 20% less than what we're allotted. I was showing Rick some paperwork I had. Now, we're not having any trouble with that. But now next year, when it comes time to renew my permit, I don't want them taken away.
Right. Oh, right. And I understand your concern, saying that you're doing a good thing now, not using it, and you don't want to come back next year and someone says, oh, but for 2 years you didn't use it, so let's take it away from you.
Right. That's what I'm.
Goldenwood West has 60 acre feet, and they told me the exact same thing, don't take it away.
If we
Because
conserve
we're
it, why would you take it away from
They're
us?
using 48 acre feet a year, and I
We've
agree.
got
totally.
200 water meters, and we haven't had any trouble getting people to cut back because our water rate tariff, which is on up at Htgcd, if they start using a lot of water, they can't afford it,
Right.
and that's just the way we do it.
But you monitor your wells too. I mean, you're the first guy to know, hey, our well's getting pretty low, so
Yes.
and that's, I mean, all these water supplies, obviously you monitor yours, but you monitor your well too, right?
I do, yeah.
It seems like they've got much more to lose than we do sitting here. Because I know that Goldenwood West, they got within, they were 10 or 15 feet off the bottom of the thing, and those people were panicking. Everybody was conserving water. So I like the principle, I just don't like the fines.
Which part don't you like? Tell me what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, we're trying, if they're trying, we shouldn't be holding we're gonna fine you or hit you with this, because as long as we're making sure we're getting there, it's hard to ask somebody to cut back 20% over time. And it's gonna take Garrett a month or two just to get the word out, correct? I mean, to see
Yeah.
results.
Yeah, there's nothing in our tariff that says you have to give so much notice. We can do it tomorrow, and as long as we send it out by mail or hand delivered, and if you get into farther stages, you got to post in the paper. Well, we do both anyways, but and we do it as soon as we adopt it, as soon as we can. My question is, look at the Water Supply Corporation, do any of y'all have drought contingency plans that y'all did not adopt? No, that y'all did not adopt from the district?
Absolutely, yeah. Because before the district came
Right.
into being, we had to have a drought contingency
Okay.
plan under the TCQ water development.
Right,
So,
okay.
You know,
And, I mean, have you tweaked it and changed it, or, I mean, are you changed anything to what they're talking about, or have you kept your own and done your board, or?
I've accommodated the requirements of the district, which did up the amount that I was reducing. In my drought, it was, the first trigger was like a 10% reduction. And then the most we ever got up to was 15, because I thought that was reasonable
Right.
for the amount that we're actually pumping.
Yeah, that's great.
So now I'm already at the absolute limit that I had already planned. In this scenario, it's only my first stage, so no wonder I'm squeezing a bit.
Yeah, I understand.
What
Excuse me, what are the camps in, some of the drier counties doing about water? Because they're under the same mandates, they're too.
Oh, I can only speak on mine. I don't know what they're
know.
doing at,
But
Green
there
Family Camp.
are a lot of other camps.
Right,
and,
I can only tell you what we're doing to try
Well,
to,
you may want to, I always like to do the research and so.
if I had time, I'd love to do research, but
You don't have time.
no, man.
Jack,
I think Mark's point a minute ago is a pretty good one to think about. At this stage, this is the first meeting I've been to. I think you all had one other meeting on drought, didn't you? But the community is now just really aware that we're in drought, and I think the board needs to just show some leadership and getting the word out and suggesting what people can do, you know, get some suggestions out there for people to, and make sure that we're looking for ways to cut back waste and so forth everywhere we can.
I agree, Jack. I
And
think that.
not start out talking about fines.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, there should be a
This
scare
is gonna be a
tactic.
voluntary
Yes.
effort, pretty much.
Well, and Pernalis has an ad in the paper, and I want us to do the same
what's
thing.
that?
Send us in your ideas of how you're reducing your water intake.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
And it's time for us to do that.
I can't hear you.
Yeah.
I said that Pernalis has in the newspaper, to send them in ideas on how to reduce electricity. And I want to put that in the paper about send us ideas of how to reduce your water.
Okay.
And I think that we ought to do that.
From what I'm getting from all of y'all that have permits, is you want to conserve water too. You want to do this, but you're scared of the way some of this reads, that it reads that we have a hammer, and we're gonna use it the first chance we get. And I don't wanna use a hammer, I just wanna work together. Same thing with you, I don't wanna go out there and tell your little kids to get a shower, that's not my deal. But I would like you to take an active role and maybe put some signs in the shower, because if you tell a kid, like they said, like you'd said, if you tell a fifth grader with a sign, don't forget 3-minute showers, even if they take a 10-minute shower, at least you tried.
Have a contest, the shortest shower, you know?
I mean, just something,
That's not a good idea.
right, I mean, I know what you're saying.
That's like having one of them out there to shut it off, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying, I'm just saying, we would like some cooperation from everybody, and we work together instead of I don't wanna use a hammer. I don't want you to use a hammer and go, but look at rule 17 that says I can do this.
No, I mean, again, I think that's a great recommendation that he had, as far as putting signs up and educating the kids that we are in a drought stage.
Because I understand you're not
And I'm
gonna
gonna
tell
try
me
to
not to
enforce
come.
it as best I can, so I'm certainly willing to do. If we change, it says failure to do so will be a direct violation of your permit. District rules and fines will be enacted. If we change that, failure to do so may be a direct violation of your permit, because Gary, you're not even acknowledging it's a violation of your permit, correct?
He just said it's part of his
Yeah.
permit.
Yeah.
He just took his own rule, he said your permit's a joke.
District rules and fines may be enacted and not, because as long as we're seeing some progress, I don't want to fine anybody, it's just too tough right now. We change will to
Yes,
may.
sir.
Permit holders obviously they have a permit. Within their permit, it says, the permittee shall abide by the approved district user drought contingency plan and the water conservation measures. It's not maybe a failure, it is a failure, it's part of the permit. Well, we have one tooth in our mouth, and if you say may, we're gonna go gumless through society. Taking the little power that we have is not a good idea. I don't wanna make money off of you, don't make me come after you. I don't wanna show up on your door. I don't wanna send you a letter. Conserve how you can. I want you all to do your best. If you, at the end of the year, if you're 20%, great. If it's only 15% to you, but it's 20% to me, wonderful. I don't know how else to say, this is supposed to be a very short meeting about, hey, everyone, it's drought.
We never had one of those, why would tonight be this?
On Wednesday, it will officially be the drought. It will be a 30 days of official drought of our 2-3 triggers. That's why I wanted it today, so we could work this out, get the word out. We called everyone last week, hey, drought's coming. Be prepared. You're warned. You know, you're warned that their drought is coming.
And I agree, I actually added in this 4th trigger just so we would go in and stay back in '08, because the triggers that was in this plan with TCQ, with our well level stuff wherever they are right now, and we wouldn't even fall into it.
Right, right.
And we added that just as kind of a PR deal at the time, just because
I mean, your wells never went down.
they did, yeah, but not
Not any dramatic.
dramatic, yeah.
So let's just hypothetically say someone didn't meet it. Rick, would you issue the fine to the officer or would it come before the board?
Come for the
So every,
I would give them an NOV, and the NOV, hey, you violated the situation, please present your side of the story to the board.
but
I understand, I don't have a problem with what you, and it's like I said, at the end of the year, I mean, I'm probably gonna meet the 20 anyways, I mean,
You will.
yeah, I mean, my customer response
Well, you can't-
is really good, I mean.
if someone's permit's up in July, okay, there's really no way they can get down to 20% reduction.
And they can come before the board and explain that, and you guys say, we understand your situation.
We'll have everybody
What
have
if,
fun
what
with
if,
it.
why do we have in here, why does it, fail to do so will be a direct violation of your permit? I've got no problem with that. I've got no problem with that. I'm okay with that. Then the second part says district rules and fines will be enacted accordingly. You don't need to tell them that. It's already, the rules are the rules in the permit. So, I mean, why are we telling them-
It's better to warn people than it is to say, hey, didn't you read your permit, remember?
Yeah, but then the other side of that story is, someone comes up and says, oh, it said you're supposed to fine these people $10,000. Read the rules, it's $10,000.
Have
Get your hammer out and use it. I
have we
don't,
ever had problems with the water companies during drought?
the ones that are permitted, some aren't permitted, we don't know what they're doing.
And are you throwing Roger in on there too? He's,
Roger doesn't do a good job at all.
oh, yeah.
Find that guy.
He's milking
Sit down.
he's milking that cow pretty hard.
Immediately.
Year round.
So
You know, he's doing, how do you punish and fine a guy or a water company that's doing
They're very bad.
their best year round, which, but
I have to agree with Rick, though, why are we still talking about this? We're in a drought. We need to vote that we're in a drought. I mean, I know we're in a drought, we need to do this, but I don't want people to think we're doing it so we can immediately, I got you. That's not what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I think that's.
You wanna see some intent, right, I mean,
Right. I'm not trying to,
But the fines will have to be enacted through a board meeting, correct?
Correct.
So you know, they're gonna have to take a leap of faith that this board will act accordingly
Right.
and reasonably. And that's kind of why we're up here taking pot shots once a month. So,
Full of candy.
I mean, they're gonna have to, you know, so,
Well, it doesn't hurt to warn people. You know, Rick's right, if you're going to find somebody, and we may have to find somebody if they really overuse water.
Right,
So
but-
just leave it right there.
but what do we do with the Rogers group that
let's do the right thing.
doing the right thing from the get-go, and it's conserve water, drought, no drought, they don't use water, they do their best job. This
Well-
group right here does their best job to
Mr.
make sure.
Conley's group does the same thing.
Excuse me?
I said, Mr. Conley's.
Yeah.
Right, the same, they're trying their best to help everybody, and if they had a leak, had a
If
problem, they're
they're
fixing
doing their very best,
Yes,
we're
ma'am.
not going to find them.
Where's,
anyway.
is our Texas representative here?
it.
That's interesting. Because they're the biggest waster,
Well,
and they're not here. If they would, if they would have plugged up their leaky pipes a long time ago. But the thing is now, so when are you going to tell Aqua Texas this, whatever you pass?
This would be,
Tomorrow?
they already know about
They've
it.
been contacted.
Oh, they have?
Oh, yeah, they know all
Knew about this
Okay.
meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I think that's a good point, that the people who care are here, and there are people who will flagrantly disregard all the drought, the rules, don't care, I guess, I don't know what they're thinking, but could you not issue variances to someone, like you do with,
Oh, sure, sure.
restrictions in a homeowners association? I want a variance, I'm a
I know, but I just wanted to
responsible
make
water
sure everybody-
system, I work hard, we're a small group, we'll give them a variance, you know, you don't have to put blindfolds on to treat everybody the same, and you can still be fair, but you gotta watch out about the bad guys coming in, you know, so.
That's right.
But I think there's a way to handle that, I don't
That's
think
right.
you have to do it blindfolded.
But I think it is nice at least to talk to the different groups and see what their concerns are. His concern is, are we gonna be penalized for, we didn't use the water, thought that was a good thing, and now we're gonna take it from you? And I think that's a bad thing. Go ahead.
Really, like I said, we're already voluntarily 20%
Right.
reduction. And not because we're afraid of anybody, but the water's precious commodity.
It's the right thing to
And
do.
if you don't have water, you have
Ain't
to
got
back
much.
up and move.
Right.
And, all of our customers are very good about that, and, nobody waters their yard. And my yard looks like a cattle feedlot.
I like that.
But I'm sure not gonna have a pretty yard where everybody else's, I'm not that judgy.
President Skip, I'd like to say one more thing.
Yes, sir.
Like I've said all along, y'all should never have another meeting ever again about anything ever until you fix Aqua Texas. Until you fix Aqua Texas and you stop John Gorman from pumping wells into Bear Creek, you should never have another meeting again, because you take those two people out, you take Gorman and Aqua Texas out of the equation, and I guarantee you, that's probably 10, 20 million gallons a month. But this group should never meet again until Aqua Texas is number one on the agenda. Now, agenda item 1, Aqua Texas. Next meeting, agenda number 1, Aqua Texas.
That's, in theory, it's a great idea. In the real world is,
Well, it just proves that
Aquatex is working on it.
Well, it just proves that there's not a legitimate concern.
Oh, it
There is
proves,
a legitimate concern.
it proves that Aquatex is working on it now, but whether, I would say you're 5 years down the road for Aquatex is finished. I mean, I would like to see them have a machine to start turning dirt. And we haven't seen that yet, but they swear it's coming. And I agree with you. A Gorman that watered 2 years ago during the drought, if he's watering now during this drought, that's an issue. It needs to be addressed immediately. Because you're right, why is everybody else conserving when 2% aren't?
Well, I flew over in a helicopter this week, and he is still watering in Bear Creek. And let me tell you something, people that talk about Belterra's wells, this man is pumping hundreds of acre feet into a creek. Hundreds of acre feet.
And we will address that, I'm sure, if we get a complaint on that.
Got one.
Any other
I do.
discussion?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I went to Dripping Springs this morning and we got a fax from them, and you all have a copy of that. They do have slightly different hours than we do. They said they're going off of, LCRA's.
Off of their drought contingency plan.
Well, and I said that I'd bring it in front of you. If you wanna make a small change to our order that says something like, or according to your water supplier contingency plan, just to throw that out there.
All right, where would you like to put that?
That's just a suggestion.
I like that suggestion. Where would you like to put that?
Where that's red on the
Okay.
bottom.
All right,
That means Garrett would be allowed to use this, is that correct?
no,
What are we talking about?
water supply, if you had LCRA water, you could do that.
Because I don't want people calling me saying that they're not following a certain time watering schedule when he's supposed to be following their watering schedule or their watering schedule.
Yeah. I don't know how many times y'all have had experience of going into ration, but what happens to us at the very beginning is you'll actually see your pumpage go up because people make sure they water at those times.
That's right. That's
Oh,
absolutely.
so,
And it's especially gonna affect somebody like his system.
right, somebody
The
before
very
didn't.
first, one of the very first times we did stage 2, and you set this schedule right here, these people make damn sure they water at that time, and you end up pumping more water.
I see your point.
It's fact, yeah.
Well, that makes,
And it does eventually decline, and it
We
does
do not
improve.
have to put a watering time in there. Our drought stage 2 doesn't have that.
Let's think it all out.
decision.
do you think if we didn't have that time that may help you?
No, I like the time. Like I said, it does go away, it does decrease, but right at the beginning, you'll end up pumping more water.
Screw up the reverse.
Yes, sir.
From my side, Mr. Skipton, I think that that's micromanagement. The responsibility should be given to the water operator and the board of directors for that particular entity, and they are the ones who are given the responsibility. And that way, it's less management for Rick.
So you'd like to see all of Rule 5, or all of Rule 5?
Rule 5
It's been more of a suggestion to the exam.
Right.
Yes.
Right, I see what you're, you see, now we're caught in that same deal though again, I don't understand it. Right,
We could just click, say, drought stage and walk away, but.
no, I know,
Some people,
I agree, I don't wanna micromanage you, I don't wanna tell you and go by your system and go, why are you watering, you shouldn't be, so I agree.
The
Y'all-
times
that's something for
do
them.
work eventually.
But that's y'all's deal.
Yeah, I
You,
mean,
you
it's,
come with the time, I don't know what your people want in
but
your
you
area.
end up, once you start doing, once it starts fizzling out a little bit and slowing down, and you might even get some rain in there, you start doing some policing at night, then it does decrease.
All right, what's your pleasure, somebody come with a good idea here.
so it looks like I agree that everybody knows their own system better than we do.
Correct.
Let them, can we strike number 5 the entire thing?
Yeah. I would.
No,
Does the board feel responsible for some kind of water education effort? Because that's what, you need to get this word out. Some
Right.
people don't think about it. Some people just turn on their faucet and water comes out, and that's as far as they think. So tell them it's better to water at night when the sun's not shining. It's bad to water during the day when it's hot.
With these numbers, right, like you said, and I know I could use mine, but you're telling somebody that they can water from 8 p.m. to 10 a.m. on their designated day all night long? I mean, from 8 p.m. to 10 a.m.
I think that's why we're here talking about this, we wanna massage this and make it a good thing. Because you're right, I'm watering from 8 to 10, and you'll get water from 8 to 10, and he's okay with that.
Well, can I
This is
just say one thing?
sprinkler
I've got 3 different sprinkler systems that water well over 10 acres each sprinkler system. I have it designated every other day, so.
What are you doing? I'd like to go to, just see the camp and see, is it hay meadows?
I'm sorry?
Is it hay meadows or what, or
We have
football
soccer fields,
Oh,
we
yeah.
have softball fields, we have all
You don't wanna
kinds.
do them with rock.
Well, let me say this though, by the end of the summer, there'll be 2-inch cracks in the ground.
Right, it'll be like rock.
And the kids will trip and fall, and then we have issues with other things.
Right.
But we have several sprinkler systems, and there's no way I can water all 3 sprinkler systems
At these
on
times.
Tuesdays and Fridays only.
Well, now, tell them to shut down the pool and take all the kids down to Jacob's Well and have a party.
There's not gonna be any water in Jacob's Well.
Oh, sure they will.
Were you here 2 years ago when it dried up? Because it surely the creek dried up through our camp.
Why don't you cover some of those baseball fields with crushed granite or something?
Whoever signed the
Because they're insurance.
Right. I mean, we have insurance as well as liability issues if kids get hurt or whatever the
You know,
case is.
I remember something from the Barton Creek mag that said the water beneath our ground moves up to 15,000 feet in any 24-hour period. So I'd rather you have it on your baseball fields than somebody in Bear County had it. So
Well, I mean, I don't mind turning my sprinkler systems off, period.
it's not a
To help
bucket
out.
underground. It's not a bucket that doesn't leak. It does, like Chris Cobb, it doesn't, it flows. It doesn't leak. I was told, when I said leak, I was way off, but it flows. But it does go away. It's gonna drop regardless.
Jimmy, if y'all wanna eliminate that whole thing, can I make a suggestion all the time?